Episode 20.
Here we go. My hair's still wet. 3, 2, 1.
Everybody's got an opinion. Every Californian and Virginian. It's so hard to tell who to trust and who to ignore. Someone's gotta settle the score. Trey and Chelsey will help you choose whose views win, which ones lose. Online haters are coming for you. Baby, it's time to review the review.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
I quickly pulled Goldie on after that intro, and she has her
A
crown
crown.
on. She hardly made that entrance. Let's be honest. She was like ready to get that crown off before we could get the shot, but we got the shot, so we did it.
Oh my gosh. How is that attached to her head?
It's like a party hat. Actually, she was leaving it on.
It's like an elastic band under the chin. Yeah.
It's the elastic band under the
Good
chin.
girl.
Yeah, I know you hate it.
Oh.
You hate it so much. Okay, thank you guys for listening to us. I love her so much. I can't help it.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
welcome to Review That Review, the podcast dedicated to reviewing
Reviews. We are just like Siskel and Ebert, only instead of being crotchety old white men, like Chelsey pointed out a few episodes back, reviewing cinematic masterpieces, we are fun, vibrant white people who rate and review those hilarious, scathing, and sometimes suspicious online reviews.
It's true. And that over there is Trey Gerrald.
And that over there is Chelsey Donn. And together,
we did it together. And together, we're
the Review Queens.
And listeners, guess what?
This is 2020. This is 2020. This is 2020. I'm Barbara Walters, and this is 2020.
It's our 20th episode.
Oh my God, Barbara, that was so nice of you to make an appearance. Wow.
She has a very, very expensive quote, but she arrived.
Here
we
you,
are.
Barbara. Wow.
20 episodes. What do you
20
think of that?
episodes. What do I think? I think I just can't even believe it's happened. I remember the very first rehearsal, and one day maybe someone in Patreon will see it. But I think we've come a long way, Trey. I'm proud of us. How do you feel?
I feel good. Most podcasts don't make it past their 5th episode. So we've got 15 on them.
Oh my God. Yay. Look at us.
Also, you had a reveal, and now I'm prepared for my reveal.
Oh my God. Stop.
I have this gorgeous.
Oh.
Chelsey, why don't you describe what I'm wearing?
Okay. So okay. It's very regal. It's like a regal necklace, almost like collar-esque, but like in a fancy sort of way, like a bandana like shape on your neck, but made out of maybe pearls or something like that. It's quite fancy. Looks like maybe you could cock it to the side if you wanted to and do a little diagonal moment, but I like it right in the middle. I was wrong. Well, I think you could rock it either way.
This is in preparation for Halloween, which is a few weeks away.
Oh, is this a teaser?
I am going to debut little teases because my family, David and our 2 dogs, do annual Halloween pictures that are top secret. No one knows the theme until Halloween. And this is a little tease onto what's your guess? What do you think I'm going to be for Halloween?
Oh my God. This is it. This is all I got is this necklace
for today.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. Oh God. Are you like a judge, like a fancy judge?
Good question.
Maybe.
It's giving me Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, it's giving me like a little bit of like RBG right now, but I feel like I don't know. I first of all, the highlight of my year is this photo shoot that you guys do. And I'm so excited this year to see how we're going to integrate Hunter because he's new to the bunch. But if you
Yes.
guys haven't seen these already, it's worth the Instagram scroll. Like go on Trey's page at Trey Gerrald, not an ad, but an ad. Cause like, look at it, you guys. It's fabulous. What do we have? We had the Dalmatians one, the little
Yep.
shop,
Yep. So we
Wicked.
did Cruella Dogville. So Winnie
Yes.
was dressed as Cruella. We were Dalmatians. And then we
That's
also
right.
did Cinderella and the Evil Stepsister. She was
Oh,
Cinderella.
so good. So good.
We did Little Shop. She was the plant. I was Audrey. David
Yes.
Seymour. And last year we did The Wizard of Oz. So she
Wizard
was
of
Dorothy.
Oz. Yes.
I was
as
Glinda
she
the
should
Good
be.
Witch. David was the Wicked Witch.
Killed it. So
And
good.
this year we have Hunter who has to be in the mix. Oh, I think there might be another one in there that I'm forgetting. But you can search the hashtag Winnie Travid Halloween and find them.
It's so worth a look, you guys. You don't even understand how good it is.
I think this year is going to be very epic.
I have absolutely no doubts.
Anyway, so you asked and I
Yeah.
interrupted with my
No.
2020 introducing Barbara, but my week has been deep in the throes of stitching and hot gluing and fabricating costumes. We're in the process. I'm Hunter is a rescue, as every listener knows, and so I've been trying to get him comfortable with wearing a sweater because
Oh, good call. You got to get him comfortable.
because he will be in costume and
Yes.
he doesn't like certain areas of his body being touched. So we're getting him. They do make sweaters that you can step into and zip up down the back.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to go.
That
with
might be the way.
because my hand has been bitten way too many
Oh
times.
no. So the dress rehearsals have been a bit intense.
Yes, and I have something I have one that will be properly sized, and I have to be stitching on some stuff. I have to hand make Hunter's costume.
You're so amazing. I feel like it's like your inner Southern queen comes out when you make these costumes by hand.
It's gonna be good. Anyway,
gonna
that's how
amazing.
my week, and now here
Yeah.
we are celebrating the 20th episode. Chelsey, how
Yeah.
was your week?
My week was great. No major complaints. I just got Goldie groomed for the first time.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I took her there, and I gotta say, like, I feel like I've been working hard, and I feel like this is maybe gonna like lodge into a little bit of complaining territory here.
Go
Not
for
that
it.
I don't have a plethora of complaints that I can dig from, but like, I feel like I have been brushing her at home, and I've been trying not to have her be like that dog at the groomer that's matted or whatever. Like I've made a conscious effort. It's something I think about, like it's front of mind,
Mhm.
and I brush her, but she's a puppy, and puppy hair especially gets like really matted. And so the groomer called me and they're like, just so you know, she's really matted. And then I got kind of like a lecture a little bit when I got there. And I'm like, what do you want me to do about this? Like, do you want to charge me extra for the matted situation? Because if you do just charge me extra, that's fine. I get it. If you like had to spend extra time on her, fine, like absolutely fine. But like, why are you lecturing me? I'm trying over here. I'm doing the best I can. So anyway, it was a great week. And then I guess I got a little bit annoyed when I was called out of the groomer. It feels like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Trey, because I don't know that you've ever had any. I mean, you did the drag queen for the one person show. So did you ever have to did you ever have to wax your legs?
Okay, really great question.
Yes.
I was in drag in a 2-person play.
Okay, sorry.
The 1-person play
Was not drag.
was Barbara Streisand, but no, not really a drag. And then, but I did one of my first summer stocks in college. I played a Native American, which is cultural appropriation, and
Yes.
that's not good. And I was body painted, like spray painted.
God. Oh wow, that's bad.
Well, I was spray painted for like 2 weeks, and then they realized it wasn't cost effective, so we had to like sponge it on, literally with like kitchen sponges. This was
my God.
I
This is
can't get
terrible.
into it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is that theater company where I wrote that scathing
Oh my God.
that I can't
Well,
find.
it sounds like it's well deserved. Jeez.
But I had
Okay.
to use Veet. Wait, is that right?
Oh, you used Veet.
No,
Yes. Like
What's that?
Veet's like
No, no.
Nair.
no, it's the song. What's that female razor that Venus?
Oh,
I'm
Venus.
your
Oh,
Venus. Where it has the
Your
little
desire.
soap on it.
Oh,
It's like,
I'm intimately aware because that's the only razor I buy.
so
Love it.
so I did have to shave my legs when I was doing that job. And that's when I found out about butt paste.
Butt paste. Oh, to keep from chafing?
Well, from like, yes. And like ingrown hairs and razor burn.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
okay,
butt paste?
I thought I knew butt paste, but maybe I'm thinking more of like I don't know. Tell me.
It was an Oprah's favorite thing, which is how I heard about it.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
really, and it is like for diaper rash, but it's really good for bikini areas on women when they shave.
I'm going to have to try this. I'm going to get some butt paste right away.
It saved my life because I
Oh
was,
my God.
you know,
What have I
Yeah.
been doing living my whole life not knowing about this?
but somehow we went into that because you
We
were
went
asking
into
me
a
if
little
I've
bit of a
ever
tangent.
shaved.
Yeah, the point is, or I was actually thinking if you've ever been waxed, because it's like them telling me that Goldie was matted when it's like I knew there was like a little bit of mats. I couldn't work them all out myself, but them telling me it felt like when I get like my legs waxed or something, and then afterwards the person's like, "You have a lot of hair." It's like, yeah, I know I have a lot of hair.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to like have the hair removed. So it's like I'm taking her to the groomer because this became a situation outside of my own ability to handle. So I'm outsourcing, and now I'm being made aware that I'm doing it wrong. So I'm trying. Okay.
You know, the last time I was in LA,
Yeah.
I got my nose waxed.
Your nose, like your nose hairs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one's not that bad. I've done it, I think, before.
But a friend who listens to this podcast who worked for L'Oreal for 30 years and is retired instantly texted me and was like, "This is so bad. It's so dangerous.
Oh,
Waxing your nose hair is just built up bacteria. Like you're exposing
wow.
all of your nasal cavity to bacteria. It's so dangerous. I'll never do it."
I was like, I don't feel like I've done it in years. I feel like it was one of those freebies that was thrown in when I was getting my eyebrows waxed. And they're like, "Do you want to do this too?" And I was like, I guess if it's an issue.
Oh, it was so, I like think about it constantly. I want to do it all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess I'm lodging my complaint right there.
Lodge a complaint.
I just went right into it.
With the matting.
With the mat. I mean, it's fresh for me. At least she got to look really great for her queen moment, you know?
I think that I think your actual complaint there was like being
called out.
Yeah, reprimanded for something that like is sort of like, what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Puppies get mats, and that's why you're the groomer.
Mats. I have a lot of hair on my legs. That's why I'm getting them waxed.
You know, I grew up with teacup and toy poodles because my mom.
Oh, right. So you get it.
Yes, and that's why as an adult man, I have chihuahuas.
Yeah, but you get it, right? Because it's like it doesn't mean that I'm a bad.
It does.
Dog
it means
mom.
you're bad. It means you're bad. You need to.
It means I'm bad.
Yeah, it means you're the worst person in the world.
Stop.
All of that was sarcastic.
I know. But I'm just saying, really, it doesn't mean that I've been neglectful. It just means that the hair gets matted. Anyway.
I mean, it's like that's their job.
Yes. Trey, it's your turn.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Today, my complaint is also fresh on my mind because today I went to Costco.
Oh, yeah. It can be a situation. What happened?
So this is not specific to Costco.
Okay.
But I hate it when you are, what do you call those? What do you call the things you push that you put your groceries in?
A cart.
Okay. In the South, we call them buggies, but
okay.
That's like one of those things in my life that I constantly have to like catch myself before I say it. Because I still want to say buggy, but if I say buggy, it's a whole thing. So I have to say cart. It's like how I train myself to say it's cement, not cement, or it's an umbrella, not umbrella.
Oh, that was a good one. When I met a Southern person that said umbrella, I just thought that can't be real. Anyway, continue.
Insurance instead of
insurance. It's kind of cute, but yeah.
I almost said a really, really inappropriate joke, but I kept. Okay, so okay.
So glad you saved it.
When you're pushing the cart,
yeah,
and someone is just diagonal in an aisle. They're not on the right, which should we, traffic in America.
Trey's literally
right.
his eye is like twitching right now. I want you guys to know that's how mad he is right now.
Like you go down an aisle to the right because people are coming down on the left side, which is their right.
Yeah.
But when someone is just diagonal in the middle, they're not on the right, they're not on the left.
Just going rogue.
not even concerned that you're there.
Right.
No, aware, like,
no, like, I'm so sorry. I left my car there. I'm so sorry.
not even acknowledgement that you're there.
Right.
It's as if it does, like, it's they're presenting Costco. Olivia is presenting Costco today.
Costco by Olivia.
Literally. Oh my gosh. It happened like literally today. There was like a woman with a child. Okay.
Mhm.
The child was in the seat.
Yeah.
And then there was another woman with a child behind them with their own cart. And then a man was like picking up like a 17-gallon thing of vegetable oil.
Oh, gross. Okay.
And none of them were like trying to move. None of them were like even acknowledging me. And so I didn't like say anything because I don't know. But gosh, that bothers me.
Because
like,
yeah.
like everyone is navigating. You're all navigating. So I don't understand why you aren't just like pulling to the side or moving over so other people can continue. Like, you're causing congestion.
Totally. And it's hard to feel like you can tell that person, like, please move, without feeling like you're sounding like the person that's like, excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be that person.
Well, I'm also, years of having lived in New York City, I'm not trying to get killed today because people are crazy.
Oh, true. That is true. Ugh, I didn't even think about that. But anyway, that is annoying. I think there should be some sort of cart etiquette. Were there arrows on the ground
No.
out of curiosity? Okay. Maybe that like could be a complaint, like Costco, maybe.
So this actually was like on the end between aisles.
Okay.
So they were congesting, like.
Oh, they were congested. Oh, that's even worse.
It was worse. It really was.
That's so they were like basically blocking off like 2 aisles.
They were blocking off 2 aisles and the guy was going in between the 2 aisles.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it really was like perplexing to me that no one was concerned about her.
And also the shopping carts at Costco are like
giant.
Huge.
That really is part of the problem.
That is a part of it. Cause it's like, it's one thing if you're at a grocery store and you're a little over the line, like sometimes you could still get around that or give it a little push and you're fine. But with these huge Costco carts, and they can be heavy too. I mean, not that you should be moving somebody else's cart, but like, like I've been at like a Whole Foods or something like that. And a mom like has a baby in a babushka thing and she's trying to reach for something and her cart's over and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'll move it for you. Like, that's fine. Like, I think it's fine in that context, but yeah, those carts are heavy and unwieldy and it's hard to navigate and to have to navigate through. Who is it?
I'm just always aware that like other people are trying to navigate. So I just try to make sure I'm not in other people's way, but not everyone's like that. So
but do you think that the way that somebody acts as a cart pusher is the same as the way that they act as a driver?
Yeah. Yes.
I think so. Right? Because I feel like there's always like when you drive, it's a team sport. We're working together to get to the place as quickly and safely as possible. Right. And there's just always some people that are just going to have the ass of their car sticking out into the middle of the lane because they didn't like decide fast enough. And I think that's the same person that's blocking the aisle at the grocery store.
I agree with you.
Just saying. How do we feel?
I think I'm ready to do the thing.
I think I'm ready to do the thing. Let's do it.
Chelsey, are you ready to go head to head?
Okay, so did we like explain that it's a 1 and a 5? I mean, we know it's like every 4th episode is a 1 and a 5, but
that's the I'm on the script.
I know. I always lose the script. Okay. All right, start again. Should I do the ready to go head to head since it's technically my line?
Yeah, but do it funny.
Okay. No pressure. Okay, Trey, do you got your boxing gloves on? Because it is time for us to take it to the ring. It's it's time for us to take it to the ring, Trey. Let's do this.
Where are you?
That was my version of ready to go head to head.
Let's do it again.
Let's do that again. All right, I gotta think of something else. Okay. All right, Trey, I hope you're warmed up and ready to go because I wouldn't want you to get like I don't know, a stitch or maybe a cramp when you and I take to the starting line and go head to head.
No cramps
tonight's-
here, my diva doll,
today's
because
episode.
I am ready.
I'm so glad you're ready. As you guys know, Trey and I are your trusty review queens. And with our guest review queen today, Goldie, we bring you reviews from the internet that we feel need to be inspected.
We dissect the nitty gritty.
And then we rate them on a scale from 1 to 5 crowns. It's a very regal process that we call
Assess that kvetch.
And today we're bringing you yet another Versus episode.
Oh my God, it's true. It's another special edition episode.
So today, Chelsey and I are going to cover a 1-star review and a 5-star review that are on the same topic in an effort to sleuth out the real truth that's hidden somewhere in the details in the middle.
It's true. This is another Versus episode. That's right. For this Versus episode, Trey selected the 5-star and I selected the 1-star. So to determine who reads first, we got to flip that quarter. All right, Trey. Am I calling it or you?
Who called? I think you call it.
I call it. Okay. Tails.
It's heads.
Oh my God, I lost. It's okay. It's the first time for everything. All right, Trey. That means you're gonna go first, and you have the 5-star.
That's right.
Okay, great. So should I? I'm gonna intro the thing.
Yeah, you would do it.
Okay. You would do it. All right. Today, I just wanted to. What was that? All right, guys. So today we are going head to head for a cake shop in Los Angeles called Roobina's Cake. Roobina was called Roobina's Cake. Roobina's Cake was founded in 2013 here in Los Angeles, and they do very elaborate art cakes for all kinds of special occasions like bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, baby showers, and just your, average avant-garde affair, if you will. They've done stuff for the Today Show. They've gotten their name out there, but some people are not happy and some people are happy. So let's hear from the person who was happy with Roobina's Cake. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's hear from one of the people that was very happy with Roobina's Cake. So happy that they gave it a 5-star review. All right, Trey, let us know.
Review that review.
Okay. So I had so many options to choose from.
So many.
Littered with 5-star reviews, but today I chose a Yelp 5-star review for Roobina's Cakes, written by Nadia A.
Nadia A. Okay.
Our wedding cake was one of the things our guests raved about after the wedding. So we knew for sure we made the best decision by choosing Roobina's Cake. A good number of our guests asked us, why is that guests asked?
It's hard. It's a hard one.
A good number of our guests asked us where we got our cake. That it's the best cake they have ever had at a wedding. My friend said that cakes are the one thing people criticize at the reception the most, and that ours was the best cake she had ever had at a wedding. I was shocked because I didn't know people take it all that seriously. But aside from being shocked, I was happy and pleased that we made such a great choice. We chose 2 flavors, and both flavors were delicious and mouth-watering. When we walked into Roobina's Cake on Glen Oaks, we just walked in to look around, and Armin was so inviting and professional. We felt comfortable and excited right away. Because of this Because of his pleasant welcoming, we instantly knew we wanted to work with this place. I had an idea and pictures of what kind of cake I wanted, but there were a few options, and I didn't know which one to settle with. Armin gave me his advice and showed us pictures of his previous clients' cakes and suggested what style we should do depending on what I described. So we decided on a style. We did cake testing, and every flavor was amazing. Armin was also super helpful and giving us references and sent us to a great florist, Arte Floral, or Art Flower. Nope, Art Floral, who worked with them to create a beautiful cake. The end result was beautiful and unique. Everyone loved how it looked and how it tasted. We were very happy about that and are very thankful to Armin for helping us out. The service at Roobina's Cake is wonderful. Please see the 2 photos I have attached, taken by Lynn and Jersa Photography. Okay, so
All right.
not a lot of like bomb points here in this, but the reason I liked this review is because Nadia takes us through the entire process of having a lot of considerations in mind, not knowing where to land, walking in, feeling taken care of, feeling supported, and how to elevate the cake into a floral display.
Yes.
And also how it was like a showstopper at the event. So that's why I picked this, because I felt like Nadia really walked me through reading this. I would be like, oh, I can go in and ask for some nudging on what I want my final product to be. I can rely on the experts.
I see that. I definitely got that. I think that she said the whole phrase about this was the best cake at any wedding ever, or that like you ever had it. I believe she said that like 3 or 4 times. Did she not? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So obviously she really felt this way and wanted to hit it home. Because of that, I like for a moment I was like, is this a fake review or something? Because she's like keeps speaking like in these absolutes, like the best ever. But then I thought about it. I mean, I haven't had a wedding yet, but I feel like people are very invested in this process. So it kind of makes sense that she would feel so enthusiastic about it.
It did occur to me like, well, I don't know who your friend is, so I don't care about your friend's opinion. I mean, that's like that harsh, critical voice in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I was also wondering, I guess it's true. I've been to a decent amount of weddings and I'm trying to remember. I guess like the cake's a big deal. I mean, it is definitely the cake is a very, very big deal. But if everything else at a wedding was amazing, do you think that people would walk away and be like, ugh, that cake? I thought it was interesting how she was saying that she knows that people are known to criticize the cake. I don't know. Maybe that is a known thing. What else?
In researching the company,
yes,
you mentioned this in the intro, but I was really amazed at the variety of occasions that litter the 5-star reviews. These are just some that I actually wrote down.
Okay.
A Halloween cake, an album release cake, birthday cake, a smash cake, a shower cake, fertility cookies.
Oh, cookies.
Obviously wedding cake, and a sobriety cake,
Oh,
which I
that's
almost
nice.
read that review. Someone
Just because.
got a 10-year sobriety cake for their husband.
Oh, that's so nice.
But that all of that to share, it seems like also Armin was highlighted as the salesperson here.
Yeah, that's gonna come up later.
That they really take your hand and walk you through the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this person definitely wanted us to know that beyond the cake tasting amazing, we can also expect to have an amazing, customer service experience from start to finish, which I know is important to people when they're booking these kinds of vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm struggling in how to grade this because I know that we set like what I'm getting. I feel like this review could have been a third of the length and had the same exact information.
That's
Like,
interesting.
because I know like you're so happy and pleased. Everybody was so happy and pleased. Everybody loved it so much. Everyone loved it so much. Everyone loved it so much. Armin was cool. And so I don't know that there's like a ton of substance there. I don't know what more I'm expecting, but I do think that they walked us through the process at least of like, we had the tasting, we met Armin. We didn't really know what we were going to do in terms of design, but we had ideas of the style. And it seems like he really helped throughout that process. So I don't know if I'm expecting more. I'm just not really sure, you know, how queeny this review is in terms of like emotional attachment. Because other than knowing that she's so happy and that everybody loved it so much, I don't know that I really know that much about Nadia at this point.
I think that at the beginning of the review, Nadia sets us up that way because Nadia tips the hat by saying, you know, my friend told me that like people really criticize cakes, and I was shocked by that people took it that seriously. So it's sort of, it felt like Nadia wasn't extremely emotionally attached, was more so like pleasantly surprised that people were so in love with it. That sort of sense is throughout the entire review, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I forgot that that was how it began.
But I do think that the value of this review lives in the details, that it was unique and beautiful. They were told like the floral shop that would work with them. Gosh, I'm just like imagining like, I mean, you would have, I mean, whatever. And then the pictures they attached are freaking gorgeous. I mean, it's like a 6-tier cake with like,
I was going to say, I feel
flowers.
like review credibility instantly goes up when you attach pictures, because it's like you're explaining the vision of how this all went, and then you're showing me photographic evidence. So I'm much more likely to believe that this could be an experience that I could also have.
For some reason, the phrase mouthwatering grosses me out. But
I know.
Isn't that weird? But
yeah, I had that similar reaction.
But I do also appreciate, because you can't tell taste from a photograph.
Right.
There are multiple times where Nadia describes the two different flavors, how they're both amazing, that it wasn't just pretty to look at.
Is that super common to do the two flavors in one cake? Is that, I guess that's a thing because it's such a big cake. You can do that.
I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, that speaks to how good the cake must be, because Nadia couldn't even decide on just one. She had to go for two.
Exactly. And then the spelling and grammar is great.
Sounded good.
So is it Nadia? I mean, is it Roobina's cake or Roobina's cakes?
Roobina's cakes, I believe, plural.
Okay. So then they've misnamed.
No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's Roobina's cake, singular.
Roobina's cake. Okay.
Yeah.
So spelling and grammar is great. It says the location on Glen Oaks as one word. Is that two words? Glen Oaks?
Not sure. I think it is in Glendale, and I think probably like Glen Oaks Boulevard or something like that, I would imagine. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's Glen Oaks Boulevard, one word. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So spelling and grammar looks really good.
Yeah.
And I believe Nadia. I also kind of appreciate like the coolness at which it's sort of like, you know, I was shocked that people care, but like we had a great experience. I felt taken care of. It doesn't seem like Nadia's very drama.
Yes, which is good. Maybe you know what, that's a good point. Like maybe that's what I'm missing in Nadia's review, is I'm so used to when we have these brides, it's like there's so much drama and there's so much energy coming out of them, and she's just sort of like, wow, like didn't know this was a big thing, but it's a big thing, and I'm glad it was, because ours was great.
I would imagine that this is probably a common experience. I mean,
I would think so. I mean, obviously we know a little bit based on the like plethora of 5-star reviews, but also it seems like there's a real system here. Like we come in, we see Armin, we go through this process, we have vendor recommendations. So, you know, just based on the information that we're getting in this review, it seems like, you know, Roobina's cake, they're experts. They do this all the time.
Correct. And I will say, like the impact for me of this review, like probably 80% of the impact comes from the images, because
That's true.
Maybe we'll put these on the Instagram.
Yeah.
'Cause this cake, you guys, is like,
Is it beautiful?
it really is a showstopper. This is like, you would talk about this cake after the wedding. I mean,
Yeah.
even if someone was shot and if Lincoln was assassinated at this wedding, you would still
You'd
talk
still be
about
like,
this
but the
cake.
cake though was beautiful.
I
love that.
So, I mean, I feel like I could crown this. What do you think?
I think I'm ready to crown it. The only thing we didn't really discuss was humor, which we think wasn't really funny.
Yeah.
But other than that, okay, let's do it. Let's crown Nadia A.
All right. So, Chelsey and I each have our own set of 1 to 5 crown cards. And in an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another's cake, we will simultaneously reveal our ratings.
The queens are tabulating.
You ready?
Am I ready? I'm in between, but yeah, I think I'm ready.
The queens are tabulating.
Alrighty.
Total score.
Okay, I gave it 3 crowns. Trey, I gave Nadia A 3 crowns, and Trey gave Nadia A 4 crowns. I guess I will go first. I gave Nadia 3 crowns just because, again, I didn't get review queen vibes. It's kind of like a vibe thing. And I didn't get review queen from Nadia, but I did get some information that I feel like is useful. And I was sort of taken through the process, as you said. So I think there's value there. So that's where the 3 crowns came from for me. Also, clearly did a copy edit. So Nadia earned those 3 crowns for me, but because of the lack of humor and the lack of star quality, if I can say that, that's where I took the 2 crowns away. Trey, why'd you give Nadia 4 crowns?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. For whatever reason, the mood I'm in today,
Yeah.
the lack of chaos, drama, high emotion sort of like is appealing to me. Like, we deal with those so frequently. It is the impact is somewhat boring.
Right.
But I didn't think it was middle of the road. I was between 3.5 and 4.
Mhm.
But I just went with the 4 because it's not entertaining and it's not humorous. But I think that's mainly the biggest knock. And also, these images are like,
Yeah.
the impact for me is like, yeah, I mean, you could be more verbose. You could be more
Right.
highly emotional about how incredible it was. But it seems like Nadia's not that girl. And
She's not that
or
girl.
not that person. And
Yeah.
so the real like impact for me is the experience Nadia had, that it's sort of cool as a cucumber, and the pictures. So for that reason, I gave it 4, because I think it would impact me. Like, I definitely want to purchase from Roobina.
Yeah. And it's always so nice to see the like customer images as opposed to just the images on the website. So
For sure.
that's true. I didn't think about the photo, but okay. Good job, Nadia A.
Yes,
Way to
Nadia.
kick off this 1v5 episode with a bang, so to
Bang,
speak.
bang into the room.
All right. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll hear an entirely different side of the story. You know what I mean?
Ooh, can't wait. Get your sugar ready.
Hold your crown. We'll be right back.
All right, it's game time, everyone. It's time to jump on the Meryl-Go-Round.
I don't feel like an icon. Most of the days I feel like I can't. That's with an A.
All right, here's the deal. Trey and I have each picked a rotten, scathing, pithy, 1-star zinger. And with 30 seconds on the clock, we'll take turns reciting the zinger in as many genres as possible
Just like Queen Meryl Streep, who does it all.
before the clock runs out.
All right, Chelsey, what's your zinger for today?
My zinger for today is from William Sonoma. I wanted to keep a little bit in theme here. So I am going to be reading a 1-star review about the Flower Shop Rainbow Pop-Up Cake Kit. This review was written by Iowa, no last name. And the subject is sounded like a great idea. And the review is these were ridiculously time consuming, expensive, and not that good. Woo! So that's how Iowa feels about that.
Iowa.
Yes.
That's a cool name, actually. If it's like
I know, I
person's
sort of
name.
like it. I agree. I sort of like it.
All right. Are you ready?
What am I strapped into?
Oh, right. Today, you are strapped in on Curious George.
Love that. Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
I don't feel like an
3, 2, 1, go!
Disney.
These were ridiculously time consuming, expensive, and not that good.
WWE.
These were ridiculously time consuming, expensive, and not that good.
Musical theater.
These were ridiculously time consuming, expensive, and not that good.
Melodrama.
These were ridiculously time consuming, expensive, and not that good.
Shakespeare.
That's all.
All right, that's all.
Yes, Queen. You got 4.
Thank you. That was a long one for me. Thank you.
It was long, but that was good.
That was long, but I'm glad I did it. All right, Trey. Tell us where your zinger. All right, Trey. Tell us where your. All right, Trey. Tell us where your zinger is from.
Okay, so I stayed in theme as well. So I have a review from Target.com.
Okay.
And
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I found a zinger
Okay.
for Betty Crocker Rainbow Chip Cake Mix and Frosting Bundle.
Okay. I just have to point out quickly that we both did a rainbow item. I had a Flower Shop rainbow pop-up cake kit. Just saying. Great.
How
minds.
gay of us.
How gay of us. Love it.
All right. So this is from Disappointed Evan.
Okay.
And Disappointed Evan writes, the subject is more expensive. And Disappointed Evan's 1-star zinger is 11 cents more than individually bought.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
sorry.
This is a bundle of the frosting and the mix.
So he's saying like you're buying double the amount thinking you're going to get a deal and really you're getting swindled.
He's saying you can buy the cake mix and buy the frosting and you'll save 11 cents. But when you buy the bundle together, you're paying 11 cents more.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm so glad that I know that now. Thank you.
That's a lot of money.
11 cents. 11 cents could have been saved. Is that? Yeah, 11 cents. So anyway, Trey, I think I'm going to have you strap into like the Sophia the giraffe.
Oh, yeah. Those little like baby toys.
Yeah. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, that's just because I'm so teeny tiny.
Yes. All right, Trey. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Teen drama.
11 cents more than individually bought.
Pop star.
11 cents more than individually bought.
Sports announcer.
11 cents more than individually bought.
Sorry. Superhero.
11 cents more than individually bought.
Opera diva.
11 cents more than individually bought.
That's all.
Thank you for extending that aria to the end. Love it, Trey. I think you won. You've been winning a lot lately. Let's say 1, 2. All right, Trey, you are the winner with 5. Good work.
Oh, that's
great work.
Wow, I just feel.
Yes.
Are you gonna buy me a Roobina cake for this?
Maybe. Maybe a Roobina cookie. Let's be truthful. No, I will gladly. I hope we have many occasions for Roobina's cakes.
I agree.
And with that in mind,
let's get back to it.
Let's get back to the show.
Review that review.
Oakley dokley, we are back from the break, and now it is Chelsey Donn's turn.
Yes, it's true. Tis my turn. All right. So as you guys already know, because we just heard the 5-star, we are now going to be hearing a different side entirely. So this is the 1-star review. Now, I just feel like I always end up picking people with these names that I don't fully know how to pronounce. So I'm going to spell it and then we can discuss it. So the name is Jeana, and the last initial is A. So is that Gina? Gianna?
I think it's Gina, but I like Gianna better.
Okay, so should we go with Gianna for purposes of this review?
Yeah,
Let's do
Gianna.
it. All right, Gianna. Okay, Gianna. This is Gianna's one, and Gianna is an elite. I do like to pick those elite Yelp reviewers. So Gianna is an elite Yelp reviewer, and she is from Glendale, California. Just FYI. And this is Gianna's 1-star review of Roobina's cake. I put off writing this review for so long. I think because I wanted to forget the experience, to be honest. Roobina's was hands down the most stressful part of my wedding planning. My husband and I had decided on Truly Yours catering for our wedding. And in the process of getting all the details together, found out that they use Roobina's for the cake portion of their catering. I set up an appointment with Armin for 12 p.m. on a Saturday, to which we arrived promptly, only to find Armin actively working with another customer. No one greeted us. We just stood there awkwardly for about 15 minutes until we just took it upon ourselves to sit down and wait. At that point, Armin went to get his associate from the bakery to assist us. This woman seemed to have no idea what was going on. She didn't even greet us, just sat down and stared at us. She was unfamiliar with the Truly Yours package, was trying to charge me all these extra fees, served us stale cake, and was quite aggressive and rude. She kept having to go over to Armin to sort out what we were talking about. And even as we left the place, I still was totally unsure what our cake would look like and if she was going to try and charge us extra. At this point, I reached out to Truly Yours to try and At this point, I reached out immediately to Truly Yours to try and remedy the situation. It took 6 months to get an answer, which was a month before my wedding, regarding what our cake would look like / be given our deal with the catering company. Once we knew, I tried to move past the frustration and, have a good wedding. The day of the wedding was rough. We had 110 plus weather, but what made it worse was while we were trying to take pictures and get the ceremony moving, the Roobina's representative dropped our cake and then kept trying to steal flowers from our sweetheart table flower arrangements to cover it up. It was the most unprofessional thing I have ever seen, not to mention incredibly stressful on the day of your wedding. If that wasn't bad enough, a month after the wedding, I kept getting texts from the bakery saying I still owed them money. I promptly told them I did not and referred them back to our catering company and that we were all paid up for everything. Please, people, don't go here for your wedding needs. Maybe they do better work for less stressful occasions, but it honestly was the worst experience I have ever had at any establishment.
Oh no, Chelsey.
Yes, Gianna had an experience. She did.
No.
Isn't it so hard to hear these things said about Armin and like this experience with the cake that's so different from what we heard from Nadia?
I literally want to cry.
I know.
Thinking about the delivery person that
dropping the
dropped
cake.
I literally feel like I'm tearing up. Why am I having distraction? Can you
I can't.
What do you do? What do
I
you
don't know.
Okay, I also have a whole other question.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe Roobina's cake is like short-staffed? Because this is my question. If you
Yeah.
have a business and you
Mhm.
have an appointment at noon and someone walks in and is
Right.
going to spend $600 on a cake, how do you then juggle the hierarchy of like, I'm 20 minutes
Like, do I
into
see this person that just stopped in,
I think
knowing I have an appointment?
I think a good start, which Gianna points out, is that they weren't even like acknowledged.
Right.
Like, I think you could be like, "Hey, I am so sorry. We're running a little over. Let me send over some taste samples or something."
Right.
Like, I think there is like a slick way to deal with that. It sounds very clear that the person that was sent out like didn't have a lot of experience with customer service.
I mean, especially because they had to keep reporting back to Armin. It was like they were just literally there to be a body in the room with these people, it sounded like.
It's interesting because like it also is really funny to me to imagine like this woman from the back, as Gianna writes, just sat down and didn't say
And
anything
stared
to
at them.
Can you imagine
I
just being like,
know. How
and, like,
awkward.
smelling
And then
like
what about
sugar?
the idea of like, because of that interaction, not really knowing what your cake is going to look like until you get to like a month before, after you've been trying to reach them for like whatever they said, 4 months or 6 months?
6 months, which was 1 month before the wedding. Like,
Right.
that actually sounds to me like an issue with the catering company, Truly Yours. I
You
did
think
start.
so?
I did start to think like,
What is truly yours and what is Roobina's?
well, I think that the experience that Gianna had in the store is horrible.
Right.
I do also think that there needs to be leeway in like a grace period of time. Like if you have an appointment and an appointment is running over, like
Right.
I get the 15 minutes is a really long time to not even be addressed, and then you take it upon yourself to sit down, and then they send someone over and the experience is horrible. Like it seems like it was snowballing.
Right.
But when you immediately reach out to Truly Yours to say like, this cake company bundled this what's the word? Bungled. This cake company bungled my meeting today, and it's part
Right.
of my package with you. So something needs to be worked out here. Then I think that it's Truly Yours as responsibility if I've hired you.
At that point to intervene.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I also wonder, just because I'm so glad that we brought in the different reviews that we did, because with Nadia, it was very clear that Nadia sought out Roobina's cake. Like they chose them to do their cake. They were excited about it.
Right.
And that was like their dream version of the wedding cake. Whereas with Nadia, she didn't choose them. So a couple things. One, I wonder, like, was she kind of judging it or like bringing a little bit of an attitude with her because she was like, ugh, and we have to go with this cake place or something like that? Or did the cake place treat her not as nice because they weren't a direct customer and they were coming from Truly Yours? Like, did they have an arrangement with Truly Yours where maybe they pay a flat rate or something like that so that they're not making as much on the exchange? And so maybe they don't treat those customers as nicely or prioritize them as much as they do their one-on-one customers. I do wonder.
I did have a similar thought of like, I wonder if there's even if it's like unintentional, a different hierarchy. But I would imagine that if you were a cake company, your bread and butter is like wedding cakes. So like you would think that you would
you'd be able to show up.
I don't know. I don't even know what Armin looks like, but it does seem to me that they were short staffed and like suddenly had 2 appointments at the same time. I think like that there needs to be some way to handle that.
Right.
So all of that's just the first part of this review.
I know.
The actual wedding day and it gets dropped. I mean, if you are Roobina, that is something that has to like, there has to be a
plan,
a contingency.
There has to be a contingency plan. Absolutely. And because that is the worst faux pas. That is the worst. And how do you even charge someone for a cake after that? You know?
I mean, for the man hours of making
I
it,
guess
maybe,
so. But I mean, like but without providing a replacement.
I mean,
You know,
I don't even know
run
how
another
you...
cake over there. I don't know. Like they've got to have, like you said, like a contingency, at least like a plain wedding cake in the back in the fridge, ready to go just in case, you know, something like that were to happen, especially on a day, which we didn't talk about this really, but they said it was 110 degrees, which I like, what does that do to a cake to begin with? Like, does that melt a cake at 110 degrees? I mean, I would imagine that's not ideal cake weather.
I still can't get over the guy dropping it.
I know.
And then the claim that they were stealing flowers from the sweetheart table to like cover up the mistakes. So maybe it was, so I guess it wasn't smushed. It wasn't completely ruined. It was sort of like, we can deal with something.
Yeah, it was like an oopsie daisy that like maybe we can fix it with some flowers. I don't know. I mean,
God.
I thought it was interesting because they said that, Gianna said that they were taking pictures at the time. So it made me wonder, like, did Gianna see this go down? Like, was she taking
I wondered that too.
Her photos, and like, while she's trying to smile with her fiance, soon to be husband, for these pictures, she's seeing out of the corner of her eye that her cake is being dropped. Cause like, that's trauma right there. Or is it that like she sees the cake and then she's like, what's going on? And then someone's reporting that back to her. I just wonder how she acquired this information.
It seems to me that if a cake is dropped, if the story you're telling me, you're painting is that the cake was dropped, that makes me think it's no longer a cake.
Right. True. Yeah. You mean that it's just like completely dropped and it's like in pieces on the floor and it needs a mop at that point.
Yeah. My imagining was that it tumbled and went head first onto the ground, which I'm making that up. That's not what Gianna
like
wrote.
You're seeing that happen in your head in slow motion.
Oh my God. But
Terrifying.
I did also, to your point, I did wonder, did Gianna view and witness the person dropping it? Or was it like messed up and the story was, oh, it was like knocked, and then someone was like, I saw him drop it. Like, did it turn into rumor mill? And then the last part of this review is the bickering about the remaining,
the money,
which is so odd. That once, see, I want to hold up a flag here about Truly Yours. What is going on there?
I agree. I mean, I had a thought about that. It seems like Gianna is handling a lot of this interaction when a lot of this interaction should maybe have been handled by Truly Yours. Like, isn't that the whole point of hiring one of these companies, is that they're managing these exchanges? Or is it just that like Truly Yours?
But also, because you hire this catering company that has this affiliation with the cake company.
Correct.
I wonder if it's like, okay, well then you go, like, your package consists of this much for the wedding cake, and if you end up going over that, then you have to
then
pay
you
the
owe the difference.
Balance.
I mean, I think fine, maybe, but if that were the case, then don't you think that Roobina should have been like, okay, cool, here are the Truly Yours cakes, and you can get any of these, and if you want to get something from like this page or that page, then it's this much more. If you want to have like 2 flavors of cake instead of 1 flavor of cake, it's going to be this amount. I mean, I think that the major problem that occurred is it seems like Roobina's double booked themselves. And then they, instead of just like trying to own up to that fact, they tried to throw this person in there that was really ill-equipped to deal with Gianna. And therefore this really just started on a bad foot, and it just, like you said, just snowballed from there, and we're not getting the information that we should. And now I owe you money. Like, there's just a lot of confusion that I think could have been cleared up had that first meeting been more effective and efficient.
What is Gianna's spelling and grammar like?
Very good. Very good. And clean. We used all caps sometimes, but again, not in a way that is like abusive. I feel like I felt Gianna's passion in this review. I feel like if I were somebody that was getting married, I hate to say it, but I think this might be a deal breaker, like about just the idea of them dropping the cake and have it and like using my flour. I don't know. There's so much of this that I think would make me queasy. But then I guess it's hard because we always want to consider these things individually and in context. Like individually, this sounds like a terrible experience. Like, oh my God, never, ever going there. But then knowing that Roobina's has like what, 4.6, 7 or 8 out of 5 on Yelp. Like this could have been an anomaly. This could have been a really bad day. It was 110 degrees. This could have just been, I don't know, just like really, really bad luck and not necessarily, anybody's malicious intent.
Yeah.
I
mean, to me, I'm not sure what I think the impact of this. It feels like a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
I think I can get into it in my
in your assessment
crowning
at the end. Should we go ahead and crown?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
The queens are tabulating.
All right, Trey. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
All right, I'm ready, yeah.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what's happening today. Trey is holding up 4 crowns and I'm holding up 3.5 crowns. All right, Trey, you start us off. Why'd you give Gianna 4 crowns?
This one was hard for me because I don't think that this is a deal breaker for me because it does seem like this was a fluke experience. It does seem atypical only because I think that the customer service in the shop was a little askew. I don't think you can run a business that way. Like I think there was an error there, yes. But then dropping the cake obviously is no one's intention.
Sure.
So it just seems horribly like unfortunate. I mean, it's sort of, I just keep thinking about this catering company. I feel like Gianna like wasn't supported. And the claims about covering with the stolen flat, like all of that just starts to feel a little like, I don't know.
Right.
But I gave it 4 because I do believe that I don't know. I gave it 4 because I am feeling a little icky in my tummy.
Yeah.
It wasn't humorous. I was entertained from like terror. I almost like I was teary-eyed about the person
about the cake drop. I know.
It would make me want to inquire about the transportation.
Yes.
So that's why I gave it 4.
That's a lasting impact for sure.
Because it's having an impact on me, even though I don't know how I feel about it, but it's gonna last with me. So that's why I gave it 4. Okay, why'd you do 3.5?
I actually 3.5 because of something that you brought up in our assessment about like the truly yours and where do they come into this equation and how could they have intervened earlier or in a different way to make this process run a lot more smoothly. I'm just questioning that a little bit. So that's how I took off the 1.5 crowns. But I do think it's impactful. I do think I think this is Gianna's experience, and I think that's really unfortunate. I would not put it on Roobina's that this would definitely happen to me if I was going to use them. Like just again, it's hard because we're trying to review just this review, but I think that I have a little bit of mind that it's 110 degrees. This was a snowball effect. I think I would be able to take the temperature. Like if that first meeting did not go well, I think I would just jump ship right then and there. But I don't think it would necessarily keep me from using Roobina's. And for that reason, I gave not Nadia. Sorry. For that reason, I give Gianna 3.5 crowns.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah. But Trey, I've been holding out on you a little bit because
there's a reply.
OMG, guys.
From Roobina.
Okay, I'm really intrigued here because I need to know if there's something misleading. I want to know what's happening. Tell me.
I think you are being a very good detective. So, all right. So this is from Roobina Z. She is the business owner of Roobina's Cake. And this is her reply to Gianna. Hi, Gianna. I'm really sorry for your experience with our reception in our store. But actually, the situation in the venue, which you mentioned, was exactly the opposite. The planner called us to deliver the cake earlier as planned to the venue because of florists to put the flowers on the cake and also design the cake tablet. We didn't drop the cake, but delivered like all other cakes. As you mentioned, it was 110 degrees outside. They put the cake outside for a few hours, but later your planner called us because someone moved and damaged the cake. We sent our designer to the venue to redesign the damaged cake, which was not our responsibility. After that, your planner asked her if she can design the cake with the flowers and also design the cake table, which was not in our responsibility. Because your florist didn't do that, instead of that, gave her a few dirty cactus to put on the cake. She rejected, but your planner said is okay. Our designer tried to find flowers, but there wasn't enough in the box to put on the cake, and also to design the cake table, only a few small damaged flowers. Your planner said she can take some from tables and design the cake, which was not our responsibility. Okay, sorry. She's just repeating things. Okay. Your planner said she can take some from tables and design the cake, which was not our responsibility. And also, she didn't steal flowers from your sweetheart table. It was your wedding planner, which gave her the permission to do that. Regarding asking for payment a month later, you are right, but it wasn't clear for us who is going to pay for the cake until we called the catering company and they confirmed the payment. I'm really sorry about that. But as I mentioned in several response to reviews, we deliver every weekend more than 60 cakes for different occasions all over the Southern California. We try to do our best to make our customers happy. We don't need 5-star reviews, but happy customers. Only happy customers may encourage us to serve them better and even make them happier and learn from our mistakes. I hope you'll read my comment all over again and reconsider your decision about our service and quality. Armin will call you and discuss with you regarding this issue because the last thing we want is to have an unhappy customer. I am sure we can make you again so happy that you will forget all those miscommunications. I am writing this comment not because of me or my business, but my team, which works every day so hard, day and night, and even weekends to make all our customers happy. Best regards, Roobina. What do we think?
I'm so conflicted.
I know.
Like for a while, I was sort of like, are these just excuses? But then when Roobina took responsibility for, I apologize.
Yeah.
We were wrong in trying to seek payment from you. That was a miscommunication with the caterer once again.
I know.
That I really did feel like, oh, well, if they're owning up to that, then it gives credence that they probably are being truthful.
Yeah.
That there was something wrong with the planner and the florist. And I mean, the whole thing about someone moved it is fishy to me because like what? But then it does throw in this whole story about the planner.
Right.
And then I also obviously we know from researching the company, you and I, for these reviews, that Roobina there is an English barrier.
Yeah.
English is a second language.
So we're not gonna
go there, but I can get the honesty in Roobina wanting not 5 stars, wanting happy customers, which like breaks my heart.
I really like that at the end, and like it kind of put things into perspective for me, even though like I think I don't want anyone to have a bad experience, but when you're you know, when you're churning out this many cakes all the time and people are working like so hard, it's bound to have like one experience that is just not good. And
well, that really stood out to me
yeah,
in the defense of, we have 60 cakes going out every day.
yeah.
That sort of excuse or that sort of statement actually had the opposite effect
Oh,
on me.
interesting.
It made me think, okay, well, I don't, that
I'm not those 59 other cakes.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of like, I understand that Roobina is famous and that this is like, if you are at that level as a cake maker,
Mhm.
you probably are having that high of an inventory. But I don't know, maybe it makes me feel like, all right, well, if there's 59 other cakes, then maybe mine isn't going to be properly taken care of. Or like, I don't know, it sort of rubbed me the wrong way. But
I do, after I read this reply, I did see a world in which Roobina's just dropped off the cake. They did a fine job dropping it off. The caterer was like, oh, we got to move the cake. It's in the sun or whatever it
Right.
was. And then went to move it and like sort of dropped it or messed it up. And then frantically called the cake company back to be like, oh my God,
please help,
oh my
please
God, you
help.
got to help us. Please come over here. And then Roobina, because she keeps repeating over and over again, like this was not our responsibility.
Yes.
The way that she's painting it, again, believe her or not believe her, but the way that she's painting it is this caterer person like dropped the cake, had this kerfuffle with the cake. It was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? The florist was there. She had to leave. She left some dead flowers and didn't finish the table. And here they're coming in to try and triage this situation so that they can hopefully have a happy customer and they can hopefully fix this situation. Meanwhile, they're getting blamed for everything that's happening on the caterer side. So what I wonder is, if I am Gianna and I'm reading this review, do I immediately call the catering company and inquire and just say like, listen, like, I mean, or at this point, do we not? Like, I don't know. I would want to know, if I were Gianna, was I being lied to? Because it seems really easy in tense moments like this where things are so like, I remember before my sister's wedding, it's like the energy is like so insane and like it's about to happen and we've been planning this for over a year or whatever it is. And I can imagine something like that happening and being like, I hope nobody notices or whatever it is, and then passing the buck onto the cake company.
I mean, all we can do is take into consideration the 3 different sides we're getting here.
I know.
But it does occur to me, once again, I have a little red flag for this catering company. And also, like, maybe the planner even. Like,
Yeah.
they don't want to say, oh, the assistant actually nudged it and it's a problem. So like, let's try to take care. Like, let's not upset the bride.
Yeah.
But
it's an
also
interesting
the whole,
situation.
like, it seems like there was some sort of breakdown in communication between Truly Yours Catering and Roobina's Cake on this one contract.
Exactly. And I just think that, like, at very least, Truly Yours Catering deserves to carry at least 50% of this burden.
I think so. And something that came up in the original is that, like, I just lost my thought.
It's okay. I was just going to say that what's interesting to me is, like, I think at the end of the day, Roobina did take credit for, like, she's sorry. Did she? That, like, she's sorry that the customer service interaction was not.
Yeah. And is planning Armin to call her.
Yeah. And having Armin call. Exactly. Yeah. So she did take accountability for the things that were on their side of the street, for sure. Like we said, like, even if it was Truly Yours' fault for not teeing it up correctly, like, they still dropped the ball when Gianna was there. So they're taking accountability for that. And then, to their credit, I mean, if they're not responsible for the other part of this, I can understand why Roobina would want to, you know,
spell that out multiple
spell
times.
that out. Yeah.
I mean, I think that the impact for me now getting all of this story is that there are a sea of 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
I didn't see in my research any other
1 star.
catering companies associated with the 5 stars, which is interesting. That might be
Yeah.
more work to do. See if there are other not 5 stars that are attached to catering company contracts.
Right. See if that's like a trend. Yeah.
It does just seem to me like, I mean, I have gone through all of these reviews for this company, and I'm still very intrigued to get a Roobina cake.
Oh, me too.
I mean, oh God, I'm just, Kinahora, I'm never gonna have another wedding where I have to like be stressed out about a wedding cake.
True. Well, we'll just have to wait for your 50th, 40th?
When we renew our vows.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, I feel like all in all.
Oh, wait, I remember what I forgot.
Oh, yes. Go for it.
Back to the original point is that it does sound like Roobina has a contingency plan because they have the designer able to run out and address an issue. So that's a little more comforting.
Yes.
I do believe Roobina. I believe because they really took ownership for the things that could have been better on their end and how they were trying to make the customer have their day by helping with things that are outside of their purview. Which makes me feel like, oh gosh, it's just such an unfortunate circumstance.
It is. It's an unfortunate circumstance for sure. And with that being said, I feel like we are both team Roobina's cake. I mean, we're sorry, Gianna, terrible experience seeing you fully, but also would love a review queen Roobina cake. Thanks.
Maybe we should take a look at that catering company for an upcoming episode.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. We should do that.
I'll make a little note. All right.
Okay.
Fun.
Well, we did it, Queen. We've reached the most regal portion of our show. Who are you, Trey, inducting for?
My Royal Highness.
All right. So today I'm going to get a little nerdy again, but this occurred to me from your, you were sharing a Royal Highness and I wrote it down and then I forgot to do it for a couple of weeks. And so here we are back.
Okay.
This week, I am inducting caller ID.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that something that needs a round of applause? Do you remember? Oh, wait, we have a sound effect. Do you remember life before caller ID?
Barely.
Okay, let me tell you. We both are of the age where we were children and then suddenly we had it. Let me tell you, life without caller ID is a little movie called Scream.
Oh, yeah, that's
Scream
right.
2. Do you know that the sales of caller ID boosted by 50% in America after Scream 1? Okay, I made up that statistic, but I did do research. There is some known stat that the sales of caller ID were boosted between Scream and Scream 2.
I believe that for sure.
So if any of you kids out there who just take for granted that your little iPhone is going to tell you who's calling you, this is
just
a crazy thing. There was a time in life when you didn't know. You had to say hello.
I mean, what about that whole line in Rent? Mark, are you there? You're screening your calls. It's mom.
We sing that all the time in this house. I don't know why. It's always stuck in my head. That was a very loud beep.
I don't even know if this is working. Bark.
Okay, so
anyway,
caller ID. This gets a little too nerdy and not interesting, so I'm not really going to go into it. But there, in 1968, a Russian. Nope,
of course.
In 1968, Ted Paraslavakos from Athens, Greece.
Okay.
Started making a bunch of patents that were first established in order to send the information of what the number of the call outgoing is to the call receiving. And then it took a long time. In 1976, there was a Japanese inventor, Kazuo Hashimoto.
Okay.
Made some more patents, and then it came over to America. It was happening in Brazil at the same time. So a lot of people were starting to get on this train, but I just want to induct caller ID because I don't really like people. That might not really be a true statement.
Is that a full stop?
I don't know if that's real. That might be in this pearl necklace, but like,
yes.
I don't really need to communicate all the time. And so I am someone who will gauge what my response is going to be when I see who's calling. And I'm just going to own that because we all do it. And if you are going to judge me, then look in the mirror. So
look in the mirror. Good point.
Anytime it's an unknown number, bitch, I don't answer that. Get real, honey. You gonna block that? You gonna star 69 me, bitch? I'm gonna star 67 your ass. I don't even know if those are right, but
I don't know, but I liked it.
I'm inducting caller ID.
Yes.
For my Royal Highness, because look, having more information is always queenly.
I couldn't agree more.
Chelsey,
wow.
How about you? Who are you inducting for my Royal Highness today?
Okay. So I mean, I hope this doesn't come across silly, but I'm going to induct, it shouldn't. I'm going to induct Allison Janney
From
as
Mom?
my Royal Highness. She's from Mom. She's from West Wing, amongst many other things. I love her, but mostly like she's just such a kind, amazing person. And I don't want this to sound weird, but I was doing a theater program in Williamstown called Williamstown Theater Festival. I was an apprentice there. And we did everything from like read lines with people to pick up trash with a trash picker. And there was this event that was called a zoo, and where we would be up all night and we were drinking and partying with everybody that was at Williamstown, including Allison Janney. So we're all hanging out. And then afterwards, the next morning, I needed to pick up trash. And it was 6 a.m. I went to get coffee afterwards, and Allison Janney sees me at the coffee shop. And she kind of like taps me on the shoulder and she's like, honey, are you hungover? And the point is I was, but I also had been picking up trash since 6 a.m. And then years later, I saw her again at a speaking event she was doing. And I was chatting with her afterwards and telling her about this story about when she asked me if I was hungover. And then we were amongst other people having conversation. And in the middle of that, she just tapped me on the shoulder and she goes, honey, are you hungover? And she yes-anded this opportunity that I had with her that like kind of meant so much to me in a funny way when I was a kid. Like, not only did she acknowledge like, yeah, that probably happened. That sounds like something I would say, but she did it again. And I just want to say, because in her speech, beyond her just being a fantastic actress, she kind of made it later in life. I mean, she's been working consistently for a very long time, but she was in her 30s before she got West Wing. And she has this amazing perspective about going after this career and just following on that path, even when you haven't had this major success, as so many of us feel like, we hit 30 and it's like, oh no, like, did I miss my window? And she's like, you didn't miss your window. And I wish I could remember the name of the book. And if somebody listening knows the name of this book, I remember at one point she referenced a book with like the red bicycle or something with the red bicycle, but she said it inspired her as she was on her path to pursuing being an actor, because it talked about people at every age of life from like, I don't know, 5 to 100 who started something really profound and who started something that had changed their life at a later age. And she said that as she was going through the time and not being where she wanted to be when she wanted to be there, she would refer back to this book, which I wish I remember the title of, so that she could remind herself that it's possible at any age to accomplish things. And I just think I personally can't hear that enough. And I just think Allison Janney is such a mensch, and I love her and everything that she does. So, I just figured I'm going to induct Allison Janney. And I love you. And yeah, I was hungover. So thanks for asking.
Honey, are you hungover?
Honey, are you hungover?
We love Allison Janney. Her greatest performance to date is Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Oh, so good. Love
Did you get
it.
that on camera? Most smartest.
She's the best.
All right. Well, we did it, Queen. That's another round in our Ferris wheel of our queue of queendoms of life.
Of life, indeed. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you like what you heard, will you please tell a friend?
If you didn't like what you heard, will you please tell an enemy? Leave us a voicemail at 1-850-REVIEW-0.
You can also follow us on all the socials at The Review Queens. I'm at Chelsey BD. That's Chelsey with a Y.
And I'm at Trey Gerrald. Become a member of the Royal Court by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/review-that-review. You can also watch live clips of every episode recording on YouTube.
You can. Oh.
What? Yes.
I was just saying, I always forget that you put them up there. And then I'm like, oh, you can watch that. Anyway, okay. You can join our mailing list for exclusive raffles and content. There's a pretty big one coming up. Just saying. If you go to the website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a place where you can add your name and that will automatically add you to our mailing list. You should do it now because we got some good prizes coming your way. And all you got to do is be on the list. And remember. And
remember.
Ignore the haters. You're a queen.
Gender non-specific queen.
Obviously. Bye.
Bye.
Are you hungover?
Review That Review is an independent podcast. Certain names have been redacted or changed to protect the guilty. Executive produced by Trey Gerrald and Chelsey Donn, with editing and sound design by Trey Gerrald. With voiceover talents by Eva Kaminsky, our cover art was designed by LogoVora, and our theme song was written by Joe Kinosian and sung by Natalie Weiss.
I get so sweaty.
That's what you call sweat equity. You know what I mean?
I mean, the person dropping the cake, God, that really got me.
That did get me too. Can you imagine?
That's why I'm so sweaty.
That's why you're sweating. What a nightmare.
Bye.
Bye.